Hello, my name is James Greenberg. We milk 500 plus cows, and we started out with a confinement freestall setup back in the 70s. We kept expanding until the fall of 2006 when we moved into this new coverall building. We really were convinced to go and stay with the manure pack in this new building when we started investigating the composting idea. The biggest drawback to the bedded pack is the cost of the bedding. And by going to the compost system, which we just started using this last winter, we've really reduced the amount of bedding needed because we're aerating it twice a day, or every time we take the cows out to milk. We come in and aerate the pack. It causes the bacteria in the pack to go from anaerobic to aerobic, and the anaerobic bacteria are the ones that give you the severe mastitis problems. Animals are much cleaner due to the fact that we're aerating the pack twice a day. We've been very well satisfied with the composting idea. This is our first winter with it that we've gone through, but it's worked well for us.
My name is Wayne Shopper. I work for the University of Minnesota Extension Service, and I work out of south central Minnesota in a couple of county offices, Nicollet and Brown County. Been working with these compost dairy barns, compost bedded pack barns for about 6 years now. And we really like the cow comfort. And part of the cow comfort is a structure like this where we have a lot of open area, we have a lot of excellent air movement, we have a lot of light that's let in. It's more of a shaded light, it's more of an opaque light rather than direct brilliant sunlight. Day like today where it's maybe 85 or 90 degrees outside, in here it's considerably cooler. We've got nice fresh air movement. When you talk about cow comfort, the surface of a compost bedded pack barn is just really nice for cow feet and legs. You can see here when I'm stepping on this material, your feet stick in, and a cow, good sized Holstein dairy cow, will weigh 1,400 pounds, sometimes less, sometimes more, and she's got 4 legs, and she's putting a lot of pressure in there. And when she's walking on concrete all the time, there's a lot of pressure that builds up in those feet and legs, and over 4 or 5 lactations, a lot of times her legs will go and she's still producing well. But in this kind of a system, we've got the pressures off those legs. The feet and legs are cushioned just like she's walking on pillows, and we found that we can get an extra 3 to 5 lactations out of a cow rather than having her hit the truck and after a couple, 3, 4 lactations, she's lasting longer. She's now paid for, and if a good cow that's producing 25 or 30,000 pounds of milk, if we get an extra lactation or 2, maybe an extra heifer calf out of her, that's extra money in our pocket.
We incorporated into the building feed storage area on one end. There's 100 feet of the building that's just used for bringing in feed from the bags. We bag all of our haylage. We stack that. We grind some dry hay. We bring grain concentrates in. All of this is stacked in separate areas in this 100 feet of the end of the building. Then we load our feed mixer up from there. This is a major improvement for us in feed handling also, because this was all done outside prior to this. We ground hay outside. We had feed blowing all over. We had sawdust mixed in with the hay, and this has really worked out well for us, this addition to the building. Our center feed alley is sloped to the center and to one end of the building. There's approximately 4 feet of slope on the building. So any rain that does enter through the open ridge just runs out the center of the building. Very seldom that it gets into the feed. Another feature that we incorporated into this building was we left out the wall behind alongside the bedded pack, between the scrape alley and the bedded pack. The reason for this is we want to handle all of our manure as solid manure, so we want enough bedding to work down off the pack area into the scrape alley every day, that it firms up the manure enough that we can stack the manure instead of having to put it in a liquid manure pit. Currently, all of the liquids, the runoff from all of our feedlots, just strictly the runoff and the parlor water, goes into our lagoon. We built the building with 6-foot concrete walls around the outside to accommodate the buildup of the pack. In our old building, we had 8-foot walls, and we got up to the top of the walls in there. In this building, we've only gotten probably 3 to 4 feet of pack at the most, and it builds up to a certain point, and all at once for a month it'll just kind of decrease. The height just goes down instead of up, even though we're adding material to it. So we're thinking that it's composting like it's supposed to. The cost of the concrete in the sidewalls was quite expensive, but you can also look at that as a manure storage facility for us. The reason we decided to build the CoverAll building was we were really impressed with the results that we got in our old system as far as ventilation-wise, animal health-wise, and we wanted to maintain these advantages in the new building. And the CoverAll buildings that we looked at were the lightest and the best ventilated buildings of any that we had seen. We had a very large freestall barn in Michigan, and in the summertime the thing really turned into a cooker for the cows. The steel building, in my estimation, radiates too much heat. We had all kinds of fans in it. All we were doing is circulating hot air, in my estimation. At that time, we didn't have fans adequate enough to totally move all of the air in the building, so that may have been, some of the problems. Anyway, the CoverAll offered us the most advantages that we had in the old open feedlot system that we had. Ventilation in the building is accomplished by a 16-inch continuous eave opening underneath the overhang of the building, and the cubic feet of air that comes in this eave opening is equivalent to the openings that we have in the ridge of the building, which are 5 feet wide and 20 feet long, but they're only in every other bay of the building. So every 20 feet there's a 5-foot wide opening, and then the next 20 foot is closed. This is proven to give us more than adequate ventilation in the wintertime. We have very little, or minimal dripping from condensation, much better than a metal building. Another important aspect of this building is the lightness inside. It's always light in here versus going into our old metal building. It's just dark. I mean, when you get in beyond the angle of the sun, the building is dark, and this building is light all the time. I feel that this is really beneficial to the cows. I think they're more relaxed in a light environment.